Kajun 107, local, live, country.
WHMD Hammond.
Hi, thanks for tuning in to Round Here Entertainment, your local talent showcase, where each week we introduce you to some of the best talent in the southern states. The purpose around here is to give you, the audience, a chance to hear the rich talent and diverse culture our area has to offer. I'm your host, Jim Braun, from Off the Wall Productions. Thank y'all for tuning into the show. Our special guest is Alexz Johnson. Alexz, thank you so much for being on the show. Appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here.
I want to talk to you about, a lot of people talk to people and get them on the radio and talk about a song or so and all that. We're a little different here. I like to get into your life. I want people to know where you came from, your roots, and all that. So from the time you were born up until now, I'd like to know how it all came about, how you got into the music industry and all that. Did you come out playing and singing, or how'd that work?
I feel like, I'm number 6, born in a family of eventually 10 siblings.
Wow.
And I feel like it just kind of became my way as a kid to be heard, and to be in such a big group of so many kids. It was like, well, I can do the dance, I can do a funny song, and then I can, get my needs met somehow, or, I need a hug, so I'll sing, it kind of became my way of, like, I just started singing for my supper, basically.
They wouldn't feed you unless you sang for your supper?
Well, I just think, it gets busy. Like, there's other siblings of mine who kind of took the, I'm going to be quiet and sit in the corner and wait till I'm noticed approach. And I took the, I'm going to speak up and sing loud and proud, and everyone's going to like me then. You know what I mean?
Right. So when did you basically start getting into the whole music industry thing? Did you start out doing solo stuff, get into a band? How did all that work? I was really guided towards music because everybody in my life had told me, that I had quite the voice. And then I had a brother who was in a band, he was drumming, and we decided to start writing together, and I picked up a guitar. And then, at the age of probably around 13, 14, I picked up a guitar and started writing with my brother. And then together, then it just kicked off from there. I was really lucky. I went down, I come from a small town, at the time, Maple Ridge, British Columbia. It's pretty like a horse town, small horse town. And there was a little agency downtown, and I knew that, I wanted to sing, and I didn't know the difference between acting and singing and agents and how it worked or whatever. So I just went in there and just sang a song and said, I want help to be able to get shows, and I want to do this for a living. And I was like, literally, I think I was like, at that time, I was even younger. I think I was about 12 years old. And he said, well, I can get you out for some auditions. Flash forward a year, after a couple commercial auditions, I landed the lead of a Disney show, which was called So Weird. Henry Winkler cast me. Mackenzie Phillips played my mom. It was a music-based show. And and then it started me, and I was able to co-write a couple songs for that show. And then I ended up from that moment on trying to fight between the legitimacy of being a music artist and spending so much of my life writing music and having music be my main passion, but then also being tied to TV projects and making a living as an actress. So it's always been kind of like a real love-hate, push-pull for me in my career between acting and singing, until I finally just chose music fully this last 7 years and started touring and making it my one priority. So that's basically the story in a nutshell. You became a mom in the past year, right?
Yeah.
How's that? Has that shaped your writing at all? Changed your outlook on anything in writing? Or tell us about it.
Yeah. It's actually given me a bit more confidence as a writer for some reason. I feel, I feel just that, when you become a mom, I feel like you become a master time manager. I don't really have the time to dick around all day on songs. So when I get time to write a song, I'm sitting down and I'm like, this is my time to write. And it's like, you treat it more as
my time becomes like such a gift now. Like, it's like, oh, I have time. Like, you're so thankful for that time that you really want to squeeze everything out of it. So it's kind of changed my work mentality a bit in a good way. So yeah, all those things.
Well, that's cool. You're going to be writing a song about that?
Yeah, probably. I think I already am.
That's awesome. You were in a music competition back in 2020 for vocal performance. Tell us about that.
International songwriting competition. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's so awesome. Nobody ever asks me about stuff like that. Yeah, that was like an international, I'm not sure who the judges were that year, but they bring in some pretty big judges. Like, they bring in like, I don't know who it was that year. I'd have to think, Coldplay or like big bands, and they basically listen to the songs. And you make semi-finalists, and then and I won, best vocal performance for Still Alive, I believe. Is that right? Still Alive?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Still Alive.
For the song. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I didn't get anything. You don't get much. You just get a little sticker that you put on your Instagram, but it meant a lot to me.
Yeah, that's awesome though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be talking about that album that you just talked about, Still Alive. Let's talk a little bit about that. How did that whole thing come about?
My album Still Alive is it is a song. So the whole album consists of songs that I had already recorded 10 years ago when I was on the Sony label. And those were songs that got me a lot of attention. And they were songs that really, I feel like, represent me as an artist. And they ended up being shelved. And the full album that I did, they spent $450,000 at Sony on the record, the same time they were working with Katy Perry and a couple other artists. And they thought it was too artistic and too Annie Lennox, too Kate Bush, too different, too, this and that. So they decided to just put it on a shelf, and then it never got a release. So I decided, because I'll never get those rights back to those recordings, I decided to go back, and 10 years later, I just decided to re-record those songs in my own studio on my own accord and give them the proper release that they deserved. So in that time of re-recording them, I wrote a couple new songs to accompany those songs, and one of them was Still Alive. So Still Alive is a newer song that I wrote, and I entitled the album Still Alive. The original album on Sony was called Wait, and my single from that album was the Wait track. But now I just renamed it Still Alive and put the album out there for the fans mostly, because they've been on the journey, and it just felt like it was a nice close of a chapter for me, because of 10 years later I got to release the songs that were rightfully mine to release in the first place.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about the song. What's it about?
Still Alive was written as kind of like a survival, that voice inside that guides you. It started as kind of like, whether it's a God, whether it's like the universe, whether it's some kind of spiritual, whether it's just yourself guiding you to keep going. It was kind of a song that was written in that way, like I'm kind of talking to myself. And then it became, through the process of recording the song Still Alive, I found out that my 24-year-old sister was diagnosed with stage 4 cervical cancer. And the song Still Alive and the lyrics, it was just weird. Like, it took on a completely different, now the song for me represents that time in my life losing my sister. And it represents her speaking to me, because the lyrics are literally like, I've died, but I'm still alive. And it's almost like the song, like she wrote it. It's weird. So it was the same time that I was writing that song. And that's when I had to name the album Still Alive. And so it's become a really important song for me as an artist, and a stamp in my life of one of the hardest things I've ever been through. And then also re-recording an album that was taken from me 10 years prior. It was just it was a year of change and closing a chapter, it feels like. So, yeah.
Right. We're going to take a listen to it right now. Here it is, Still Alive, by our special guest, Alexz Johnson.
I think it's time we talk now. I think it's been too long now. I think we have to make it through. still on the West Coast? Is somebody beside you? Tell me, are you lonely too? I got you, things are out of space. Things are moving up and down, you're standing in a dark place. You know me, I'm right on the other side. Things are hurting all the time, like you've died but you're still alive. You've died but you're still alive. Something's in the air now. Can you feel it changing? How is it from where you are? Ooh, there's been troubled waters, and all of them are hiding. But you and I, we've come this far. I got you. Things are out of space. Things are moving up and down. You're standing in a dark place. You know me, I'm right on the other side. Things are hurting all the time, like you died but you're still alive. Died but you're still alive. Break, 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 bend, 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 bend. How the seasons mend, 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 mend. I've been waiting here for so long. I'll be waiting here just as long. Here just as long. I got you. Things are out of space. Things are moving up and down. You're standing in a dark place. I got you. Things are out of space. Things are moving up and down. You're standing in a dark place. You know me, I'm right on the other side. Things are hurting all the time, like you died but you're still alive. Died but you're still alive. Died but you're still alive. Things are hurting all the time, like you died but you're still alive. Died but you're still alive. Died but you're still alive. Things are hurting all the time, like you died but you're still alive. I know now, but everybody's talking to me. I know now, but everybody's talking to me.
Okay, that was Still Alive by our special guest, Alexz Johnson. And we'll be right back with more Round Here Entertainment.
The music, music, music.
Love the music.
Kajun 107.
Okay, we're back with our special guest, Alexz Johnson. This next song we're going to be talking about is called Wait. Tell us about that, how it came about and what it's about.
Weight was about just carrying the weight of the world, offering that to someone that you care about, like, you know, put your weight on me, like put your troubles on me, I'll carry it for you. That was kind of the intention of the song. It's a song that, for me, I feel like it's, fans who talk to me and say, you know, if you were to tell somebody about Alexz Johnson's music, and if you were to play one song to show what her music is like, what song would it be? I think it would be Wait. And it seems like a lot of my diehard fans who listen to my music would say it would be Wait. So I think Wait's kind of like a real good creative kind of, display of like my sound as an artist. I tried to, and that song is what got me signed with Sony. That and Running with the Devil is what got me signed with Sony Records. and with Capital Two, got me the major deals. They sent me off to London, England to work with a bunch of different producers, and like Imogen Heap's writer Guy Sigsworth and Marius DeFries, who produced a lot of Madonna's early stuff, and it was really exciting. It was cool. And those songs that I was writing at that time, you know, were really, I pulled a lot from, I was really listening to a lot of like Peter Gabriel production stuff, and the Cocteau Twins, and a lot of 1950s stuff. And that's Wait. I think it's just one of my songs that fans really love.
We're going to check it out right now. Here it is, Wait, by our special guest, Alexz Johnson.
His story repeats, it keeps you on your feet. The faster it goes, it keeps you on your toes. It's told, shalays, and keeping all these things will just weigh you down until you're underground. Nothing left to take it out on. Nothing left to take it out on. It's for sure, I know. The farther that you go, it's feeling like
Okay, that was Wait by our special guest, Alexz Johnson. This next one we're going to be talking about is called Running with the Devil. Tell us about that.
Running with the Devil was, written around the same time that I wrote Wait. This song was about a friend in my life that was going through a pretty bad addiction. Had just a bunch of problems in his life, and the lyrics came out so. It was kind of the first time I'd ever experimented with kind of just like freestyle, kind of just lyric creating. It wasn't so much of like a song structure type, like guitar song. It was more kind of just like a rhythmic, lyrical expression. It was like a very artistic song that I wrote at the time. And it's one of my favorite songs. I played it live a bunch along with Wait, and it's one of my songs that has been pretty well received from my fan base. It's another favorite.
Well, here it is, Running with the Devil by our special guest, Alexz Johnson.
Looking up straight, find a hand on his shoulder, trying to find his way through the city, crawling through an alley, on the floor by your door, needing help with the feeling that he's had before. Never calling anyone, feeling unloved, saying goodbye, life's better when you're high. Never mind when you're there, cause they never play fair, they never play fair. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Turn the clock around now, think it's always better but it won't. Take you away, up out of here, standing on the tracks, for someone to appeal. Running with the devil, 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 running with the devil instead. Running with the devil, 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 running with the devil instead. Memories hurt even more when you burn, like you're walking on a tightrope, having no hope, looking down for a face or a smell when you find a day fell. Running deep latest to yourself, maybe this one will help. Throw it all away and hurt yourself. When you're done, see what it was all about. See the hurt didn't help. Your heart's letting you down, feeling on fire, like you're running in a race, no end inside. Every day is a night, every night is another fight. Put me in your pocket, I'll be there. Take me out when you can't shout. Can't find a reason why you're here. Sent to a place where the bread was away. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Turn the clock around now. Think it's always better but it won't. Take you away, up out of here, standing on the tracks, someone to appeal. Running with the devil, 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 running with the devil instead. Running with the devil, 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 running with the devil instead. And you run, you run, you run, you run, you run.
All right, that was Running with the Devil by our special guest, Alexz Johnson. I got to ask you a question. Like when you sit down and write these songs, like you laying in bed sleeping and think of it, or you're just out somewhere and thinking of it? I know some of it you talk about it's because of stuff that has happened in your life and all, but how long does it take you to sit down and write these songs?
Everything's different. I mean, I'm working on a new album right now, and the two songs, my two favorite songs so far that I've written for it, are ideas that I wrote, like the verse idea I wrote like 7 years ago, and it's on my computer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that verse idea, and then I throw a new chorus with it, and I kind of change the lyrics around. I feel like as a writer, you're just always, I feel like me personally, I'm always writing and I'm always creating. I just never feel like it's good enough, so it just sits somewhere. And then it just takes, I don't know, a day where I'm having a good day and I pick it up and I go, I'm going to give this a shot and I'm going to finish it. Other songs, I'll just pick up my guitar and it's like, it's weird. It just kind of comes to you really fast, and it's almost like it's not yours to begin with, you know? I feel like music is like that, you know?
Alexz, appreciate you being on the show. Thank you so much. It's been a great interview. Very interesting. You got a lot of stuff going on. It's great. Looking forward to seeing what you're doing in the future. But thank you so much. It's been an honor.
Hey, thank you so much for reaching out. It's awesome to be on this show. And I'm in such support of anyone who supports independent music. And you guys we need you. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. For those of y'all out there in Radio Land that were tuning in, we'd like to thank y'all for listening to our special guest, Alexz Johnson.